Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Todd Stepsis. He's the head football coach at Drake University, and we were discussing XA Score, the onboarding process that he and his team and program have went through, and how the first stages of being with XA have gone for him. It was a fun conversation. It was good to see how the XA Score system is working within their football program, how it's impacted things already, and how he uses it on a day-to-day basis. So in the meantime, if you'd like any more information about what we're doing here at XA, please feel free to reach out. You can find us on Twitter, XA Score. You can also reach out to us via our website at xascore.coach. Thanks for listening. So when you guys, let's just talk about when you guys came on board. So, the team onboarded right after Thanksgiving. It was the Sunday after. Most of your guys were not on campus. Maybe you had a few in town, but most were probably still home for that matter. But how did that process go for you and the team from your perception when you onboarded XA Score?
It was fantastic because, with how it all went, not only did they go home for Thanksgiving, we knew they weren't going to be able to get back in the facility until the end of January. And so, we were looking at over 2 months of time where, we didn't know, with the exception of a virtual call or a phone call or a text message, like what were they doing? How are things going? And so the use of the app, I think, helped us keep track of our guys a little bit better. Just from a physical standpoint, what's your weight looking like? How are you feeling? And just, get you, and it got them thinking about football too, so like I'm logging on to this XA Score. Our coaches are watching it and analyzing it. And so it gets me thinking about football, even though I'm not on campus. So, getting access to it at that time when everybody was apart I thought was huge because, it let us keep track of the guys, as a whole, as a group, but then also individually. But then also it got them in a routine of thinking about football and thinking about their choices and how that impacts what their performance is going to be. So, man, I don't feel very good because I didn't get much sleep, or I'm pretty sore because of whatever. And so them thinking about those things, they can now maybe tie it back to something they can control, whether that's nutrition or hydration or sleep or things like that. So it got them thinking about us as a team, but it also got them thinking about what are some of those things that I can control that takes really minimal effort that can help me be a better player for my team.
Yeah, that's interesting. Connecting it, connecting my either my habits or what I should be doing versus how I feel or how I think I should feel or how I slept last night, even for that matter. So that's interesting. So you said you were kind of tracking it, but mostly I would say at that point, you were using the dashboard, you and your staff, and you're evaluating it through the dashboard, and the dashboard's done. It's gone through a couple changes since you got started. But how was that received by your staff, or did anything stand out during that time when you were working with your staff looking at the data?
It was just a convenient way to take a snapshot of, whether it was a position group or a side of the ball or an individual. It was neat to be able to also, if you wanted to get the average, you could see the overall average, but then, how the numbers would shade a certain way and how like a low number would stand out. You could really quick scan through the entire team and find some of the low scores. And so just a quick example, we had a player whose overall feeling he kept on putting ones down, which meant bad, and it actually didn't have anything to do with how he felt physically, but he was having some struggles mentally. So it's just being able to really quick click on that link, and we have it actually pinned to the top of our staff channel in our Microsoft Teams page. It's just, hey man, let's click on this thing, go to it, whether it's a specific date or whether it's a range, and be able to navigate through that and, see how, whether it's a quick check on an individual or to be able to scan and see some red flags. Our staff, that they really enjoyed looking at it. And again, it was just a quick, easy way for us to see that stuff, as opposed to, what we've done in the past is, pass out a paper and they all have to fill it out, and then we collect it and we kind of look at their answers, or you don't get the fast data that you can when you're looking at that dashboard, whether it's first thing in the morning,
Yep.
taking a look at the day previous, because
Gotcha.
I think that's really helped me, as far as, hey, we've got these plans for the day, let's see how the team's feeling, or let's see how a position group is feeling, and like, oh man, well, looks like all the defensive backs are not feeling good right now, and I don't want a bunch of hamstrings or soft tissue injuries.
Yeah.
We may want to modify what we're doing in an individual period or a group period, with those guys. We were planning on doing wide out DBs one-on-ones. Maybe we shouldn't do that, because there's a lot of effort exerted in those periods. Let's pick and choose our battles with those guys. So usually we'll look at it first thing. But I do like the change, and I'm not really sure when the update was, how you can tell the percentage up or down,
Yeah.
from the previous day. That's been helpful for me
Good.
recently, because I can see, like, I'm expecting there to be a downward trend coming off of a hard practice, but then, like, I'm hoping that today we see an upward trend, because we didn't do a ton yesterday from a physical standpoint. So that's helped me to really quickly get a snapshot of the group. Okay, well, they may not be feeling 100%, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was the day before. And
Yeah.
so that's been helpful for me, in particular.
Yeah. So you kind of answered it a little bit, but now that you're back on campus, you got guys checking in virtually at 6 days a week in your case, which is the most of any of our users. Some are doing it 4 and some are doing it 5. You guys are doing it 6. And so I think your answer to this, you've already told us, like, when you're looking at the snapshot page probably first in the dashboard.
Yep.
Have you done much? Are you using the mobile app in terms of the reports on that? Is that something that you're going to in the same way, or is it more the dashboard at this point?
Right now it's more the dashboard, but at the same time, I have used the mobile when I'm not sitting at my desk. Like, first thing in the morning, I'm sitting from my computer, I can take a look at it, or if I'm going right before going to practice, I can take a quick peek at it. But if I'm at home, late at night or something like that, I may want to check and see who maybe missed, and so that's something that, again, a little detail that, we want to emphasize to the team, that the little things matter and the details matter. And so, the expectation is we're checking in every day. And, for the guys that don't, the team is there's gonna be some consequences for the team. So, like, I'll use the mobile app to really quick see, okay, do we have anybody missing? That's probably the number one thing I look for. But same thing, like late at night, I like looking on my phone, just thinking about the next day or the next couple of days from a practice standpoint. Do we need to adjust some things that we're planning on doing to make sure the team stays upright and healthy? Because in a normal year, we have a roster of, minimum of 110 guys, where, I mean, we're looking at a roster of 90 right now. So it's like, we really have to be conscious of, the limited roster that we have. Injuries are going to happen, so that number is going to go down even more. And then, on the flip side, we got to turn around and we got to come back and play again in August.
Yeah.
I've said it a ton of times to the staff. A 3 technique only has so many double teams in his lifetime that he can take on before, like, he ain't gonna be able to do it anymore. And running backs, there's only so many hits that guy can take. And so, kind of like a pitcher with a snap count.
Yeah.
That stuff, we got to be thinking about that stuff if we want to have the best opportunity to win with the talent that we have. So, the mobile app has helped me, when I'm not sitting at my desk. But the dashboard's just super convenient, because, like I said, it's I have our Microsoft Teams stuff pulled up all the time, and so it's a matter of a one click, and it's right there for me, so I can pull it up and scroll through, and it's pretty easy to do.
And what are those scores based on? They're based on your lifting times and guys showing up on time. But beyond that, and this is where I'm going with this, beyond score and on time, check-ins. We've got a lot of things that we are looking at as far as next directions, but and you and I've spoke a couple different times about things that you wouldn't mind seeing in this, but have you guys as a staff talked a little bit more about what you would like, or what would be good, or what would be better if this was next?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, we're doing this, 6 days a week because playing weight I think is important. To understand, and some guys it takes a little bit longer as far as, okay, at what weight do I feel best? And I go back to a story of one of my former players who he was an undrafted free agent and made the team as a rookie, and like he's going into year 9, will be his, in the NFL. He finished his 8th season. In his first year, he was I think 216, 217 because he thought he had to be, and he was too heavy, and he ended up, I think, playing right around 202, 203. The rest of ever since. And so I want guys thinking about their weights and okay, at what weight do I feel the best, and then to be able to then score it based off of, okay, are they at their weight, are they above their weight, are they below their weight, I think is really important. And then in a school like ours, where we don't have the training tables and the unlimited resources in regards to nutrition, it's just another thing for them to be thinking about and controlling, because they can't control it. How to make themselves better.
Sure.
So the score part of it, I think, is going to be neat from a weight perspective, because I think it's a good thing for guys to be thinking about. And whether I'm losing weight in season and making, it's a conscious reminder that I need to be doing something to make sure I don't do that. And or guys that need to lose weight, and to be able to check their weight every day, I think is important. But I mean, as far as the stuff that we would like to see, other than, I mean, we like the direction of it. From a maybe hydration perspective, we talked about this, to be able to, for the guys to record, how many ounces there, or maybe it's a yes, no, if I drank a gallon of water a day or not. I mean, something to, again, make them think about the hydration piece, because the thing I do love about this app is that it's all stuff that it's a controllable thing. Like everything that they're typing in is something that is completely in their control. And so, whether it's when they go to bed, when they wake up, how many total hours of sleep, or just entering in like a daily check, how am I feeling, and stepping on the scale, what do I weigh, and to be able to incorporate the hydration piece, I think would be probably be the next thing I would love to see in it. But I mean, other than that, I just again, we don't have the resources to put GPSs on everybody. Like we don't. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I think that'd be fantastic. So I think this is a great tool for us to, I mean, is it the same as GPS? No, but like it has some of those components in it, as far as understanding when a player is about to redline, because you're seeing, maybe nothing, in like measurable, but like, I mean, he's telling you, like, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm, this is my soreness level. And so, it's not a GPS, but dang, it's something. And I think that's going to help us field an overall a healthier team.
One of the components to soreness that we've talked about, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you yet, but so if you put a 1 or a 2 soreness, we've proposed a second screen that comes up, and it's an outline of your body, or a body. And now you push the area where the soreness is at. So if it's shoulder, legs, but you can. So now in the notification system, the position coach, the coordinator, the head coach, and the trainer and the strength and conditioning coach get that report. Here's your low soreness guys, and this is where they're sore. So they like that in the morning, or whenever they're checked in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever the case is, you have that information, and it's specific. But I've thought about this too, like, really feeling has a couple different components, like mind, body, and soul, like you know,
Yeah.
can
Right.
I get some indication of what's really troubling them beyond just feeling low? You know, if it's, you know, that'll help us with that. And so we've talked about that as well. Like, you know, some, if you do report something low, adding a little detail to it. There's that fine line too of like keeping it usable by the kids. You know,
Oh
if,
yeah.
you know, if they've got to keep doing a whole lot, like right now it's 10 seconds and out, they're done. You know, but
Right.
then if there's a little bit more to that, then we've got to see where does that teeter at between being enough and too much for them, you know, and keeping it usable to you. So
Yep.
just some things there. So do you have like
That's a great idea.
from you and the guys any questions about, you know, any troubles or struggles or anything that I can, you know, attend to? Or
I really, I mean, it's been great. I mean,
okay.
when we started checking in, there's a couple guys that needed to update, but I mean, that was like weeks ago. So
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from the players. And again, we're usually, there's usually like one or two that either forget to, log a weight or forget to log their, their wellness scores. And so, but yeah, we're hitting on all cylinders, and it's been
Yeah.
again really helpful for me. Just from a planning perspective and trying to keep the team, trying to be able to field a team.
Yeah.
We're always bad on injuries. In the game of football. I mean, it's just the way the sport is. But with COVID now too, like your roster could get real thin real quick. And
Yeah.
so anything that we can do to try to help keep guys upright and on the field and perform at a high level. I think this has helped me adjust things to where I maybe wouldn't have adjusted them in the past.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my conversation with Coach Stepsis. Thank you to Coach Stepsis and his staff and the Drake football program for being part of the XA Score system. And again, if you think that you've seen something here that we might be able to help you with, we'd love to have the conversation. Thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye now.